Tommy, thanks for joining me. First of all, can we talk about the game from last Saturday? Tell me your feelings about Blythe and what your thoughts looking back on it now.
We were pleased with the way the result came out, to be honest with you. The game panned much the way we thought it would. They were stubborn, and they had a method of playing that, if they get it right, that they can cause you a problem. But I thought we kept them at arm's length for the vast majority and managed to score 2 good goals. So yeah, we were delighted to back up the first win with the win against Blythe. But it wasn't so much as everybody thinks it's a routine win because you've won 2-0 at home. It was, you have to put the work in and you have to stay patient. You have to do the right things to get the result. And in fairness to the lads, they did.
There was one absolute nugget of skill and touchline control. Would you like me to talk about?
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised you put that on the highlight reel, but yeah, well, the good thing about that is my missus is an absolute dab hand with the cleaning products, and I can assure everybody the grass stains that I didn't realise were as bad as they were as I went home and I went into petrol stations and people looking at me as if I'd had an accident of some description. But yeah, it teach me to get involved. I'm way past that now.
It was good of you to follow up and get the one
yeah,
right.
Well,
it was like a rehearsal.
I did say to the lads actually after the game, just look at me making a fool of myself 1 second, but not hiding in the dugout about it and getting out and doing it the next time. So there's a lesson there for the lads, and but they won't be seeing that again, I wouldn't have thought.
Tuesday's game. I think people were going into it fans-wise and thinking it was going to be more of a stern test. How did you see that?
Yeah, I think that we were all fair and right to think like that. Obviously, the fact that Brackley and Kevin are well versed in this division, had been at the top end of it, and they came very, very close last year. So, as a litmus test as such, it was definitely that. On reflection and having a look back at the game after being in the game, if you like, I was really pleased with a lot of things. But we started particularly well again, and I thought we were a little unfortunate not to go ahead. The disappointment comes because you concede a goal, and particularly because we've conceded it in a manner we felt they were strong, in the set play. But it didn't cloud my feelings at the time, and it certainly was reaffirmed having watched the game back that we very much stayed on the front foot then, and we kept going and kept going. We were relentless in the second half, and I thought in the end they succumbed to what we kept throwing at them, and that was really, really pleasing. We tweaked the shape within the personnel to begin with, and then we changed the personnel, and I didn't see us getting weaker at any stage. So from that point of view, the whole evening became successful for us, which was really pleasing. Like I said, you can only play against what is in front of you, and each game so far has been a very different conundrum, and thankfully the lads on the pitch have managed to solve that conundrum.
There was obviously 3 games now where you've not changed the personnel starting out. Are you now starting to think that there was a few knocks, Theo picked up a knock during the day, a couple of other players seemed to sort of be a little bit tender towards the end, it was noticing, I don't know whether that's conditions or...
Well, look, we're in the hustle and bustle of the league now, and there's going to be weeks where we have to play Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and some of these lads aren't used to that. They're going to have to get used to it very, very quickly. But we'll have to see how they come out the back of it. At the end of the day, they've had a rest. We've got nobody reported injured this morning, so from that point of view, it's onwards and upwards as far as I see. And it's the old saying is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Is something I do, and I am mindful of. But also, I'm well aware of managing the other players who aren't getting the game time that they want, or they might have expected when the season started. Because nobody had a bad pre-season, if I'm being honest with you. They all put themselves in contention, but the team that we picked to kick us off for the season has done well. But that's all it is. It's a start. Telford are a different proposition to the 3 previous oppositions, and we'll be picking a team relative to that. So from that point of view, it's everybody's in contention again, really. And that's how I speak to the players. So it's not me just hiding behind the fact that the team's doing okay. The squad's doing fine, and they are a squad. I mean, if Adam Crowther gets hurt, I'm hoping Tyler Knowles and Ty Fleming feel it. If Goldie scores a goal, I'm thinking Ben Stevens and Josh Barrett and Zane Walker, Ken Charles will be patting him on the back. That's the way I want this group to work.
I think people would see that from the outside as well, the changes that have taken place, and the togetherness seems much stronger now?
Yeah, I mean, I can only talk about my time here, and certain things when I first got here made me feel there were a little bits of, factions, where, maybe there's little splits and what have you, but that's long gone as far as I'm concerned. I think the mentality we brought into the club last season has continued through the summer, not just with the recruitment, but with the amount of time we've spent together as a group. We've become tight-knit, and that's really, really important. And I think in the instance of going back to Tuesday night, if we weren't as tight-knit as we are, then it's easy to fall apart against an outfit like Brackley, but we didn't, and we ended up becoming victorious. So yeah, I'm really pleased.
Looking ahead to the game at Telford on Saturday, I mean, you're travelling on the Friday again. Do you see that as a big factor going forward through the season?
Again, as a footballer, when I played the game, I spent more time with my teammates than I did with my wife back then. So you become very much a very, very close-knit group the more time you do spend with each other. And obviously we don't spend as much time as I did, but we get the contact time as much as we can, and I think that is really important. And I think it gives you benefits both on the pitch, but socially as well. A lot of these lads probably didn't know each other this time last year, so from that point of view, there's new relationships being made at work. But I'm sure that their spouses or their girlfriends and their partners all are mixing as well off the pitch at times, because they come to the games and stuff. So yeah, I think it's really important to be comfortable in each other's company. I've played in teams where I couldn't stand the blokes I was playing with, but I was professional enough, and as were they, to get on with it. Didn't have to go for lunch and drinks afterwards, but we got on with it. Yeah, I don't see anything like that here, so it's a good thing.
And focusing more now on Telford, how did you see that game coming out?
Tough game. I know Paul really well. He was a real competitor when he played, and he's got some really good players there who've played at good levels. So it's a great setup there. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve his points tally on Saturday with a home game. Obviously, the travelling and everything that comes with playing away from home becomes a factor for us in this preparation, but it is what it is. And having had 2 games and done really well, we look to do as we did at Bradford and go try and win a football match. That's all we focus on, winning the next football match. And that's our focus.
You always go in looking to win the game rather than thinking it's a point won or lost.
Yeah, I mean, there's twofold thinking there, really. I mean, you go there and you can argue that you've already got a point in your pocket. What we don't want is for them to take that out of the pocket. If we can add a couple more in there, then that makes it a perfect trip. So like I said, we'll give every team we play at this division the respect they deserve, and we'll treat them as such. We'll do a diligence, which we've done. The lads will be very well versed on what their trends have been over the 3 games they've played so far, and our game plan will reflect that. So from that point of view, everyone, staff and playing staff, will know exactly what's required of them on Saturday.
The fans will always want to know about injuries and recoveries of people like Kyle.
It's all good in that respect. Ken Charles has rejoined the group for training, full training I should say. Kyle has now rejoined the group at the beginnings of the sessions, so the non-contact stuff and the warm-ups, and he's still doing a bit of work with Carol and Abby. So we're hoping he can join in a little bit more from next Monday onwards. So I don't want to put deadlines for him or for the medical people, because I know what it's like. He can have a bad day, he can have a little setback, but he's right on schedule for where we penciled in, say 6 or 8 weeks ago. So he's the type of guy who will push and push and push, as people know, and he'll want to shorten the length of time that he's been out already. So from that point of view, it's just great to have him around the place, because he's a good character, he's infectious, and I haven't seen him play too much, I'll be honest with you, but he seems like the type that I would want in my side.
Moving on from just the senior team at the basic level, the ladies start their season coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we all wish the ladies all the very best for the campaign. Obviously, with everybody's highlighted how well that the England ladies did. I'm not suggesting they can do it as well as they did, but they can certainly compete and they wear the badge the same as we do, and make us proud of what they do. But we'll be backing them. We might not be there in person every week, but we'll certainly be looking out for their results, and we do mingle with them now and again when they come to our games. So from that point of view, we'll be looking forward to seeing them. And on top of that, I know if this will have already gone out, but I'll be going to watch the FA Youth Cup game down at Witton last night as we speak. So let's hope I've come back from there with a smile on my face and hope that the young lads have progressed through that too.
Do you see any scope for some of those young lads coming through in the shorter term?
Well, I think I've got to be open to it. I mean, at the end of the day, as we sit, we've got Tyler Knowles and Theo Hudson, who's come from that group down there, you know, through Alex. So if there's not a genuine chance of a pathway, even at this level, then there will be no real reason for running the academy and everything else. So I think I've got to be open-minded. Young Ben Siggers came to the club to play in an open trial game with the under-23s, and we've managed to secure him. So absolutely, I genuinely believe it doesn't matter where they are when they're 18, 19. If the right people see them, then they can go on to whatever they can achieve. You know, as they say, water finds its level. But I'm always willing and keen to give youngsters a chance. I've got to be mindful that I mix it with the right blend if they're playing in the first team. But if these shine in the under-23s and the under-19s particularly, then we have no qualms at all about them joining us, at least to have a look at them in training.